Welcome back everyone. In today's class we are going to be learning how to cut and sew these back vents. Here is it, as you can see. This is the back vents of a skirt. So if you're interested in this illustration, kindly watch this video to the end and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. My name is Amao Medumbaku. Let's continue. Thank you. Learning how to cut and sew a back vent. Okay, so here is a basic skirt that I've cut out already. As you can see, here is a basic skirt. If you don't know how to draft a basic skirt, you can let me know in the comment section. So here is a basic skirt I've done out already. So this is the center back and this is the center front. So now we want to create our back vent. So to create back vents, we are going to add additional paper to this, which I've already done. So here is it. So you can see that my skirt ends where this line is. That is where it ended. So to extend this now, it depends on you. You can, from 1.5, I normally use 2 inches max. You can use 1.5, you can use 2 inches. That is what I normally use. Then the length practically depends on you. The length practically depends on you. So the length, so I have this length here. This is 17 inches long from here. So this is my nail line. This is my nail line. You can as well come up from your nail line. It depends on how high you want it or how low. But it shouldn't be too low. So I use 18 inches for this length. This is from here to here is 18 inches. So from here to here is 2 inches. Okay, so that is the extension. That is your vent. This is your vent. From here to here is your vent. So that is what you need to do for now. So after drafting out your pattern, you extend where you mark where you want your vent to end. Okay, where you want your vent to end, then you extend it by whatever number you feel, maybe 1.5 or 2 inches all through. That's what you need to do. So now to sew the vent, here is a fabric that I've already cut out. I'm going to be using this small fabric to represent this. So this is, let's assume this is our normal skirt back measurements. This is it from here to here. This will be my zipper allowance. You add the zipper allowance to it. Let me bring this paper for you to understand. So from here now, I added 1 inch zipper allowance all through. When I get to this point, I added ½ inch allowance from the top here all through, ½ inch allowance. That is what I did here. 1 inch allowance here. When I get to this part, I added ½ inch allowance. Then at this side here, I added ½ inch allowance. So to do this again, you are going to mark where your zipper allowance will end. Mark where your zipper allowance will end for both the fabric and the lining. Okay, so I use 3 inches here. I'm still going to notch it. Okay, you can notch it and you can decide to mark it this way. So I use 3 inches. I'm just assuming. This is an assumption. Okay, if it is 10 inches, when you use the 10 inches. Okay, so mark it here. Then you sew and stop where your allowance ends here. This is your allowance here. This is your allowance here. You sew from, for both the lining and the fabric. You sew from that point. I'm going to sew it from that point to where that thing stops. So here is what I was trying to explain to you. You can see that I sew from here to here and I stopped where I notched. I did the same thing on this lining. I hope you can see it. So now the next thing I'm going to do now is to go to my ironing table. I'm going to iron it open. So see where I stopped. You can see. Then I stop here too. So I'm going to my ironing table and iron it. So you can see that you need to iron this so that you can see where it started and where it ends. Okay, so I've ironed the lining and I've ironed this one, so you can see them flat here. Check the back here too. So this is it. So now you will turn it back, then make sure you align them. Make sure you align it. Make sure the lining and the fabric are on the same level. You can see the zipper allowance, they are on the same level, please. That is where the fitting issues can come in, occur. Okay, so make sure they align, make sure they are on the same line. Okay, so that is it. So after you make sure they align, you will now come back to the line in here. You see this? You're going to mark from where it begins here to this side. You do it on both sides. Okay, you're trying to mark out this on the, so it's more or less like you are trying to draw this out on this. I believe you can see these lines. Okay, so I try to mark this out. So after marking this is it here. So after marking it like this, I've already cut out one. So I want to show you how to cut this other side. I've cut one side already. You know this thing is 2 here. It's 2 like this. Can you see? It's 2. Check here, it's 2. So I've cut out this one. So I want to cut out this other side too. So after marking this one out, I'm going to flip this up like so. Then I'm going to mark 0.75 from the beginning to the end. So you are going to mark 0.75 from this first line here. You mark 0.75 away all through. Mark 0. You can mark ½ inch, but I normally do this because it's better to have excess than to have less. It's better to have excess than to have less. So I'm going to mark 0.75 all through to the top here. Then I'll mark from where my sewing ends here. I'll mark it straight like so. I believe you can see what I did here. 0.75 away. Then here from this marking, you come down to where your joining ends. So after that, you're going to cut it out. You will stop at this first line here. Stop at the first line here. Then you're going to cut it out. Can you see? So this is how it's going to look like. You stop at the first line. You can as well cut it up to this place. At the first line. So that is where your joining ends. So then you remove all this. You don't need it. You don't need all this. So after that, you are going to notch this in like 0.5 also. Not too much. 0.5. On the other side to 0.5. Okay. So you will now go to your sewing machine. You will pick, this is the skirt here. You pick this one. Then the ½ inch that you notched, you place it on it. Then you sew it to this end. I hope you understand what I try to do here. So you sew on ½ inch or on your 0.75. I normally sew on ½ inch, so you can as well do the same. It's better to have more than less. You can use ½ inch. When you use ½ inch, make sure you sew on your ½ inch. But if you use 0.75, you can sew on ½ inch or 0.75. So you pick where you notched here, then you pick this one. You start from this part, then you sew it to the end. So I'm going to sew it now. I'll come back and show you. So I've joined this thing together. You can see where I notched. I started joining them together here. So to this end, then I've finished joining it. Can you see it here? You can see. So now the next thing is for you to close this up. So you go back to your sewing machine, fold this in like so. Let me use pin to hold it for you so you can see what I'm trying to do. Just fold it in. So it's there already. Just fold it in and sew straight like I did here. So here is it. So go to your end table, just sew straight like this, and you can as well use it to form a triangle like this one. So that is all you need to know about how to cut and sew a back vent. Can you see it? So here is the outcome at the back here. You can see that it doesn't have any issue, doesn't have any sewing issue here. So you can see the vent laying flat. So now we've come to the end of this class. Thank you. Till I come your way next time. Bye.